Bill Belichick can get into it, man.
Right. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to upload this video. It's official, well, kind of partially official, that Bill Belichick is going to be the next head coach. God dang UNC Tar Heels. Now, if you don't know, the previous UNC head coach, a legendary head coach, Mac Brown, who had a tenure with UNC and, of course, the University of Texas and different things of that, he retired at the crisp age of 73, obviously a lot older in the game and doing things like that. So he had to kind of take his alleviation from coaching. Whereas Bill Belichick is a nice, ripe 72 years old. So he's got a lot more gas in the tank. He should be able to kind of take things to the next level. So today we're going to take a listen to Bill Belichick, him on the Pat McAfee show. We can only really listen to it. Got to be in this little funky setup because they don't play around with copyrights over there at the PMI studio. So we're going to do it like that. See what he has to see, hear about, or what he has to say about the new landscape of college football, what some of the Wolfpack players had to say about it, because there's already some rivalries heating up with some of this news being announced there. So I just appreciate y'all watching it. Hope you're enjoying these videos. If you do like it, if you don't dislike it, subscribe if you enjoy college football content, man. We're gonna hop right into it. First things first, just now recently announced that North Carolina is finalizing a deal to make Bill Belichick their head coach. Now, if you don't know, a lot of Bill Belichick's motivation is coming to Carolina revolves around honoring his father's legacy. He was a UNC assistant from 1953 to 55 and views Carolina in high regards because of him. In his initial interview, he said his first words growing up were "Duke sucks." So he was born to be a part of UNC. This is something that connects him back to his family and his roots. I think it's something that's super interesting. So let's hear kind of where Bill Belichick's mindset is.
Yeah, is it's still, there has to be a structure to it, and I'd say a common vision for it to work well.
Okay, so let's talk about that structure. You said you talked to the chancellor at New England. That's why I always say you're the greatest GM of all time, because nobody gives you credit for that. But you were also titled the general manager. And you said you get a lot of help from a lot of people. We understand that. We agree. A lot of them have gone on, I think Pioli, Lombardi, Caserio right now. There's a lot of people that have obviously been in your personnel world that have gone on to have great success. But you were the general manager through that whole thing. And what has been reported is basically it was you and the owner having to be on the same page, because those are the three people that have to do it. In college, it feels like the coach has all this, like from what I've seen around. They just brought in Andrew Luck to be a general manager for Stanford, and I think he's overseeing the entire program. In college ball, is there going to be multiple departments going forward, do you think, in the conversations that you're having? Is there going to be a general manager, a head coach, and then is there AD and chancellor? Or what do you think the future of college ball looks like from a structure-wise? Not from interviews. This is just in your eyes because of overlooking dynasty in football for so long, and then now what you've learned with college football.
Well, I think that I'll just say this, I think there are a lot of football programs that are being structured similar to NFL programs. So in college, you now have high school recruiting, but you have college portal. In pro football, you have the draft and pro free agency. So you have salary cap and negotiations with NFL agents. In college, you have negotiations with whoever represents the player, whether that's a family member, a high school coach, an agent, or some other financial advisor, or whoever it is. You have players changing teams in college, as you have players that could change teams in the NFL with a little different set of rules, but the same general structure. And you have to value your players in some way because you have a limited amount of money, whatever the revenue share is. There's an NIL component. It sounds like there's legislation that'll be structured around that maybe it's not in place right now, but it's probably headed in that direction. So I think it's a little different version of the NFL model, much more so than it's ever been before. Let's put it that way. Coaching staffs now there are no limitations on that like there were in college. There's some recruiting limitations, but the size of the staffs and so forth is not aren't the limitations. The scholarships have been expanded, so that there are a lot of changes in the college landscape. I'm not going to be in it say here and say I'm an expert on all of them, but I think it's a little bit of everybody's trying to find not only their way, but what's best for their individual situation.
And I think to interrupt him and get my yap session off, I think it's interesting because we saw all the people leaving all the college coaches leaving college football, right? And now it's interesting that you see Bill O'Brien. Now you see, and again, Bill O'Brien had been a coordinator for Saban. He's done stuff, but you can see Bill O'Brien, an NFL guy. Now you're going to see Bill Belichick, a super mega NFL guy who's been in the NFL for years, who taught Nick Saban. Maybe not taught everything Nick Saban knows, but worked alongside Nick Saban. They worked with each other on the Browns. They go way back. I think they go back even to Navy, coaching there too. So like these are what's it called? People who are deep into coaching, but Bill Belichick's thing is that he is deep into professional coaching, right? And we often talk about the issue that college coaches have going to the NFL level because it's grown men getting money, and there's a different level of respect that needs to be given and respect that these players earn because they're 30, 40, not 40, isn't that very rare, but they're 30, older 20s. Like these are men, at this point. So how do you lead men? Well, with Bill Belichick going backwards to younger people and then them going and trying to adapt the basically NFL style system that he knows like the back of his hand because he just happened to run the most successful both front end and on field organization in the NFL for the last 20 something years. I think he might know what he can do in the new landscape. So while all these other people are trying to figure out how to adjust to what the new world of college football looks like, for Bill O'Brien, not Bill O'Brien, for Bill Belichick, this is kind of like him just waiting. He was just waiting until NILs and transfer portal got right. I know how to use the transfer portal. I know how to use trade. You telling me I can trade people the way that Bill Belichick is known to trade people and known to utilize a lot with very little, known to develop players. You're going to give him a little bit of NIL money to give to a bunch of scrappy players. And then on top of that, the ability to master the transfer portal like nobody else. He going to have 17 Randy Mosses just chilling on the kickoff team for no reason because he's got another 15 Julio Jones out there starting. It's going to get real spooky.
Okay, so whenever you think about individual situations, a lot of college coaches said, I don't want to do this anymore, and they go to the NFL. They said, I don't want to handle all the shit that's taking place, and they want to get to the NFL. That's actually like one of the things, narratives, conversations happening behind the scenes as this transfer portal NIL thing starts happening, saying a lot of these old ball coaches think we're getting away from what college ball is. They want to leave. They want to go to the NFL. Sounds like the way you're laying this out is people who have NFL experience are probably going to be more interested in college jobs. That hasn't been like a theory that has been talked about a lot, but the way you lay it out, it's like you just got kind of like a different NFL. Scholarships are the minimum salary because 105 people are going to be on there. Transfer portal is free agency period. High school is draft. Like that is, as you kind of lay these whole things together, salary cap and roster construction is just like in the NFL. It sounds like NFL people might be able to be ahead of the curve almost for college. Is that what you were thinking as well when you were looking into it?
Based on my experience in the last few months and other people that I've talked to, a lot of colleges are looking at NFL type models, or college coaches are looking at some version of an NFL type model to structure personnel and coaching. And so, look, the job's obviously too big for one person, no matter what level it's at. You need a personnel director, let's call it a general manager. You need a coach, and you need some type of, let's call it salary cap management, however that's configured, whether that's a third person or it's merged between the two, or, however you handle that. And so somehow you have to have those bases covered. And, it's certainly not a job for one person. It's a job that's going to take, a lot of work, no matter what level it's on, because it's complex, and there are a lot of people that you're trying to evaluate. You're trying to evaluate the entire, let's just say if you're in college, all the college players, and you've got a big high school group. If you're in the NFL, it's all the free agency players, which is not the full league, but it's still a pretty big chunk of it, and all the draft eligible players, which is probably starts with over 500 players and gets whittled down. So it's still a lot of volume, however you slice it up.
And that just kind of goes back to what I was saying. It confirms that point. Y'all can go watch Pat McAfee's. Again, he's crazy on copyrights. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to upload this video because of watching it, but I really thought that was Very interesting to see him talk about that and talk about his structure, and then see him, of course, be named the head coach, or at least the deal's being made. The last video we're gonna watch is NC State quarterback CJ Bailey on the potential hiring of Bill Belichick as the next head coach. He just came out the woodworks.
We gonna kill him. We gonna kill him.
And he didn't miss his words.
Bill Belichick can get it too, man. We go 5 years. You know, we go. No matter who the coach is for UNC, we go kick them.
What would that mean to you, though, that you could potentially
it means
be
a lot.
Bill Belichick?
I actually that means a lot that I could play against Bill Belichick. You know, meet him. You know, but shoot, if he comes to play, we go kill him.
He said it's over with. He said y'all come around y'all still Chapel Hill. Get out of here. Now, one other thing I will allude to is that there's been some sort of like conspiracy theory. I haven't been able to find it, but there's been some conspiracy theory basically stating that the reason why Bill Belichick, the 73-year-old, would want to coach here, 72-year-old, is so his son, who is currently a defensive coordinator or assistant coach in Washington, could be the head coach at UNC. So there could be a little politicking going on there. I don't know. Just to give you a little bit of history, last 10-win season for the Carolina Tar Heels was back in 2015. I don't think Mac Brown in his second regime had a winning season at all. Let's see. In his second regime, nope, no 10-win season. So they haven't had a 10-win season in almost 10 years, basically. So they're in need of something. They're in need of a lot. Okay. Dick Crum was here, and then obviously I think we can go all the way to the other Belichick. Can we? That was the 50s. Oh, well, he was a coordinator, not head coach. He was a coordinator, not head coach. But interesting history. A lot of there is UNC history, and I think Bill Belichick, of all people, is someone that can execute it and bring out the best of it. We'll have to see what happens, man. But y'all leave me down in the comments down below. Do you think this is just a play to get his son in? Do you think that he's going to be a good coach? Do you think he's yapping, man? Leave a like if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content. We'll hit you.